Welcome to Unleashed, where MMA icon and power wrestling titan Dan the Beast Severn and Eric Carroll deliver a knockout punch of raw, unfiltered talk. Unleashed. Gear up. Gear up. It's beast mode.
What you been up to, man?
Not much, is working out, getting ready to go again.
Yeah.
Well, the unique thing about speaking with Butterbean there today, because we're talking about a couple of different things. We're talking about the resurrection of Butterbean and you going doing a fight, but then also the fact that your son is following in your footsteps, and he'll be. Is this his actual debut fight?
No, he's had a couple fights already. He fought MMA and he's boxing. This is like his second boxing match.
Okay, but still, I mean, from a father's perspective, does that not please you?
You know, I'd rather him not fight. I mean, you know, the fight game, it's really hard. I mean, there's so much politics and like BS in the fight game. But that's what he wants to do. So I'm behind him. I'm not pushing him towards it, but I'm very much behind him.
Yeah, well, I totally agree. I never wanted any of my sons to follow in my footsteps. I go, but if they were to, I definitely would be there to help guide them and manage them. I wouldn't be their sole manager, but to me, it's like going, just like you said, there are so many snakes out there that you want to help protect your son. So just so he didn't have to learn the hard way, like you or I probably had to learn.
Exactly.
By some of these people. Yeah.
But the videos got response from everybody, from Hogan to Rock to Stallone to everybody. That the ones that haven't seen the video, it's on YouTube right now. It's called Butterbeans One More Fight, and it's getting responses from everyone.
I saw it, Butterbean, and I was blown away. So the last time I saw you, you looked like the guy on the left, and
right
there, the transformation that you made in that video. About how long was it from the time you went into the accountability crib till now?
About a year and a half.
Year and a half?
Yep. So not really a long time for what's happened.
Yeah, but at the same token, the fact that you did this, no matter how long it took. And again, it's the fact that you went through this, but are you going to stop?
No, I'm doing it all the time. I'm sticking with it, and I mean, it's helped me so much. I mean, when you get to where I was at prior to this, you know, you give up hope. The first step is for anybody to accomplish what I did. You got to start believing in yourself again.
Yes.
You know, back when I was fighting, I was Superman. Nobody would dare to get in there with me. That's in my mindset that I could do anything. I could fly if I put my mind to it. And somewhere down the line, I lost that. But once you start believing in yourself again, that and a little discipline, you can accomplish anything. That's the only reason I'm doing one more fight, is to prove to the world that if you really want to do something, no matter what shape you were in. I couldn't walk. I was in a wheelchair for over 3 years. If you put your mind to something and you believe in yourself and a little bit of discipline, you can accomplish anything.
How much of an element did Diamond Dallas Page play in that helping to light that fuse there for you? I'm just curious, because I know I've watched a few different videos that he's done, and I'm really kind of taken back as to how nice of a guy he seems like he is, and how he reaches out to people to try to help them, but sort of it's kind of a tough love though too.
Oh, without a doubt. I mean, if you're not willing to put in the work, he don't want to help you.
Right. You have to want it yourself first. I mean, and he's going to try to help you. So, I
mean, everybody said that in their life once. You know, I don't mind helping somebody that'll help themselves.
Yes. Yeah.
And it's about how he is. Like, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Abdul the Butcher was wanting to do Dallas's because he's in a wheelchair. He's in pretty bad shape, and I was telling Dallas, and Dallas said, "Well, give him my number. If he's interested, he'll call me."
Yeah, no, just know that the opportunity is there. Now, I do have a question for you. Did you travel down to see him then, or?
Yeah, I actually lived in the original show was for 4 months. It was called Change or Die. That show has not been released yet. Where they took 5 of us and put us in a house, and tried to rehab us. It's more of a mental weight loss, exercise, all in one. Let's put 5 strangers together and see how they live. Buff Bagwell was one of them living in the house with us, so the chaos that can happen.
Yeah.
Which Buff turned out okay, and then there was ups and downs, but then there was 3 other people in there.
So
you made
were
it
there then
interesting.
when I saw I ended up watching the one video there, the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts, for example. So, but he wasn't there at part of the house when you were there.
No, that was years prior to ours.
Okay.
Him and Scott Hall in the same house.
Okay.
But yeah, it was totally different. There was more Dallas one-on-one, but this had 5 total strangers that never really knew each other live together.
Wow.
So you get you got to learn to cope to live with somebody. And then you exercise and work out. And
what I'm curious about was did you have your own private room or was it like in a bunkhouse or something like that?
No, everybody had their own room. There, most everybody had a couple of them shared a bathroom, but everybody had their own room at least.
Okay.
So it worked out really well. Changer, the Biggest Loser contacted me a long time ago, a couple years, maybe 4 or 5 years before this, but they wanted me to share a room with 4 guys. I go, that ain't happening. I can't do that.
I understand. What was it like being in there with those 5 guys? Like, I watched Buff's video last night, and from what I could see, it looked like you guys were about to throw down. You look pretty mad there, Butterbean.
Well, if it wasn't for having respect for Dallas and being a guest in somebody's home, it would have been rough for Buff. Hey, that rhyme, that's pretty good.
Yeah, I say,
I need to be a wrestler or something.
You know it there.
It would have been pretty rough for him. It really would have been.
I'm curious, Butterbean, before that you went and did this with Dallas, how many years were you in the chair?
I was in the chair for 3, but I was injured prior to that too. My hips were already starting to get worse.
What was it like a day in your head after, being a champion in fighting and then having to go through this, barely being able to walk?
Well, I mean, I was inducted in the Alabama Hall of Fame and I didn't go because I was too embarrassed. There's a lot of struggle people don't realize, especially in the fight game. A lot of guys have, they go through depression and a lot of different stuff. But I lost the belief in myself. But once you get to the point to where you say, "I'll do anything," they tried to get me in the yoga program, DDP's yoga, like years prior. And I'm going, I ain't doing yoga. Yoga's not going to work. But it's not really yoga. It's yoga techniques that the good parts is actually stretching, and it's not got all the I'll go to another world, the Zen type part of the yoga that you don't get that.
Yeah, well, I think again from just watching the video on the Jake the Snake, the resurrection of Jake the Snake Roberts, it was just like you said, a whole lot more to it because you're getting a lot of counseling one-on-one, so it's all talk about what you put in your body, what you're going to be eating, what are you taking for your liquids, but then it's talking about sleep. It's talking about there's so many things there before, but there are also accountability. You got somebody that's holding you accountable. It's like you said a doggone there, Bean, that you wanted to be here and you wanted to do this. So by God, so they're trying to almost like to point that. I remember doing this with my father when he was basically on his deathbed. To where I had my father so fired on up, I'm thinking, my God, I better get a little bit out of range right here because I think he's about to kick my ass. But this guy, I had him so fired on up. It's like going, he had that willing to fight to live a little bit longer.
Dallas says it's the story you tell yourself. What is the story you're telling yourself about what you want to accomplish in life and what you want to do? So I mean, before I got there, I was at the point I was looking out the window, just waiting to die.
Yeah.
Or, actually looking out the window for something to live for. And, once you start believing in yourself, you can accomplish anything. I've put another 30 years on my life.
No, you've added years to your life, but you've added quality of life to your years. So that's a lot of people don't understand it because it's, again, being that senior citizen that I am at that wonderful age of 65 and things it's like going, there's really no perks to it all.
No.
you talk to anybody else in that same category, they're like going, this hurts, that hurts. And well, by God, get up and start moving. One of the biggest biggest downfalls for a lot of Americans is the sedentary lifestyle.
Yep.
You know, but if you get up and keep moving, I even keep my cell phone. I have to, when I'm working at my desk, like where I'm at right now, I set my cell phone for basically like 1 hour. Only stay here for about an hour and then get up and go do something else. Go outside, get some fresh air, go pull a few weeds out of the front lawn. Whatever. I get it's something trivial, but at the same token, you're outside. You're getting some fresh air, you're getting some movement and some range of motion.
Yeah, I mean, for a while I didn't want to leave the house. I mean, getting out, just the fresh air and getting out and doing something outside makes a big difference. It picks you up.
Yeah,
you're totally right, Dan.
I think you, especially if you have your own, home, if you got your front yard, you got your backyard. So if you're in the backyard, no neighbors have to see you, stuff like that. So to me, it's like go to the backyard. If you're a little bit embarrassed about things, go to your backyard, but still do something. Whether it's right or wrong, I don't care if you're just going out there just picking up the dog turds. Okay, at least you're better than we're picking up the dog turds and making the place look a little bit nicer. And so just I say that type of stuff like that because yesterday was garbage day. So what was Danny Boy doing? Well, make sure that all the dog turds got picked up because garbage day is coming. So
exactly, yeah, just something that's productive and do something. It makes you feel better.
Yeah. Yeah.
This one last fight, Butterbean. Do you know when it is or who it's going to be against?
They're doing a lot of talking right now, so hopefully we'll know something soon. Are
you calling out Jake Paul? I mean, I've seen some rumors.
I would love to fight Jake. He's talked smack about me, but he's not going to step in there with somebody that can actually punch.
What's your thoughts on Jake Paul?
He's getting better.
Yeah,
he's not there. I mean, he is good for boxing for the simple fact he's bringing people to watch it, but he's more of a journeyman. He's not there at the level of fights that he's actually doing, but the guys he's fighting is at the same level as he is.
Well, again, you think he's kind of like I'd say he's kind of cherry picking here just a little bit because he's been picking on a lot of these MMA guys that are rather limited in their boxing ability.
They can box, but they're like they're a low level just to get them out of trouble. They got to have some stand up game. Yeah, you're correct, 100%.
Right. Well, again, they know enough to keep their hands up, but it's like you've taken away all of their other elements to their game. For example, I would never do that because I suck at the stand up game. I know what my limitations are, and I don't need money that bad to go out there to be embarrassed like that, but. You know quite well in the fight game. Well, I can't just simply just put down the fight game. It involves almost all athletics. You get a lot of young men that first enter into these different athletic fields, and they're promised the world, but they don't teach them how to save some money. They don't teach people how to invest some money, and then. Right. At the end of the year, it's kind of like going, I got to pay my manager. I got to pay my workout partners. I got to pay my this, that, and the whole 9 years. By the time it does, I got nothing left in my hand at that point in time. So they don't teach you some of these other ways of how to save, how to invest, and I think that's something that really is needed for almost all professions. Because look at how many football players, basketball players, baseball players. They had $1 million contracts, and at the end of their career, they got nothing. Yeah,
there's fighters like.
I'm sorry. Please go ahead there, Bean.
There's fighters like Vinny Penzienza. He had multi-million-dollar fights, but now he's living with his mom.
Yeah.
I just don't know. And people think fighters and other athletes have a retirement plan given to them. They don't.
Yeah. No. Again, that's where you have no 401k.
No. Out of all the fights I've had, I only own the rights to one fight. I'm partial owner with Larry Holmes.
Really?
Other than that, the promoters own the rights to the fight.
Yeah, I think Don King was legendary for just sign their name and I'll fill in the rest. Yeah,
exactly.
Now with that, is that just a flat fee, or do you get royalties on top of it, or is every one of them different?
No, normally you get a flat fee to fight, and that's it.
That's it.
Unless you work out a deal, you get a percentage of the pay-per-view, something, but after that, it's done. So if they keep showing the fight, like a lot of when they done the Jackass movie, all the fight clip on it, they paid Top Rank for it. I think they paid them $15,000-$20,000 for the rights. I don't get none of that.
What do you guys think about the current pay for the MMA fighters, or just fighters in general, boxing as well?
They're making a lot more money than I did when I was fighting. Now, I mean, back when I started, it was $50 a round.
Wow. Yeah. No. Wow.
$50 a round. And
Yep.
if I'm not wrong, you two got something in common. You both started out in the Tough Man contest, right?
I did, yeah.
Yeah.
You did as well, right, Dan?
Yeah, that was actually my first time ever was in a Tough Man contest. And that's where I actually still have the Tough Man jacket. I did a show up in Battle Creek, Michigan, but this was before my MMA career or anything like that actually took off. I happened to see this little flyer come in, and it said Tough Man, location, first prize, $1,000. I simply knew I needed $1,000. So I don't know. It's kind of so funny because I did not tell my family anything like that I was doing. I just said I'm taking off today and maybe tomorrow, because they always did a Friday, Saturday type of combination.
Yep.
We'll be going to go do a little wrestling because I had never put on. I had, I think, boxing gloves maybe as a kid with my other brothers, something like that. But did we know what we were doing at that point in time? No, you're just being just stupid kids at that point in time. But that was I reckon that's the first time I met Art Dorr at that point in time too, and he reminded me of Wolfman Jack with all that silver hair.
No doubt.
And he always had that black tuxedo and the cigar. I mean, he liked playing the role right there. I just know that when I belly to belly launched my first opponent, I mean, because
I tell you who Art reminded me of is the guy that done the Conseco beer commercials.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
So for anybody that wasn't familiar with that, they might think like the Tough Man contest was similar to a UFC or a Bellator. How much different was that than like current MMA and what we see today?
Night and day. I mean, there's no comparison.
Yeah, it's all stand up, and that's where people like me would be just easy pickings. Again, I defied the rules. I did literally when I said I closed. My guy throws a couple of haymakers. I'm like, I'm like, my eyes got big, like going, I got to close the distance, hit him in the chest with a couple of gloves, got him backpedal a little bit. We're inside of a professional wrestling ring. I had always started doing my training in professional wrestling. I knew the dynamics of this ring. I'm about to hit this old big old rubber band. And then when it goes, I'm out. Eventually, a nurse is going to bring him right back in. So once I felt weight come back in, I locked around his body and just threw him. And the crowd exploded when I threw him, and he hits the canvas and practically rips off part of his face and stuff like that. He's discombobulated, doesn't want nothing to do with it at that point in time. I'm looking down at Art Dorr. Art Dorr looks up at me. He hears the crowd. He goes, "Well, throw him again." I think, game on. I can do this.
How many of these guys were actually trained? Did many of them know how to fight, or was it just people that thought they were going to get in there and fight?
Not many. Most of them just went in there and did it.
Did they?
Me and there's a few others, especially in my area, that would start training. Yeah. Because, I mean, believe it or not, they're still paying about $1,000 to win. So back 20 years ago, that $1,000 is a lot more money in reality.
Oh,
yeah, it was. There were you could tell by the way that they wore their gear out there. There were some guys that showed up wearing boxing shoes. Some guys wore tennis shoes. Some guys actually had like what looked like boxing trunks or some type of martial arts type of trunks, maybe some tank tops, stuff like that. I look like John L. Sullivan because I wore an amateur wrestling singlet, amateur wrestling shoes, which amateur wrestling shoes kind of look like boxing shoes, but my hair was
a lot.
My hair was like way dark, black looking, and the black mustache. I look like John L. Sullivan, especially because I didn't know how to hold my hands. People were literally were laughing at me because they thought I was part of their, I don't know, halftime comedy hour or something like that.
That's funny.
Now, I could have swore I saw something on social media the other day. It looks like you might be bringing back a few of the Tough Man contests yourself. Now, is this similar to the old ones, or is it a little bit different?
It's the same format. Ours is called Roughest and Toughest, and we take really good care of the fighters. We make sure the doctors are there. We check them all out really good, really competitively match. I mean, like with the Tough Man back in the day, they didn't. I don't think they matched them like correctly, like equals. So we match them pretty much. So it's really exciting to watch the whole fight. I mean, Caleb's fighting on one of my shows. It's actually this coming weekend. And it's a feature fight. He's not fighting in the tournament because he's had professional fights. But we really deep check, and every fight that we do is with the commission. Back in the day, there was no commission involved.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So after they win 5, they're done. They can't fight in our contest no more.
Now, is this just stand up only, or is there wrestling and everything
No,
else?
it's basically 3 1-minute rounds stand up.
We're going to see some knockouts.
Oh yeah, they go at it pretty good.
Oh, that's awesome, man. I
like the name. Did you come up with that name, Roughest and Toughest?
No, actually, they got a hold of me, and I went to one of the shows, and they wanted to work with me, but I wanted to check out their outfit to see if they knew what they were doing, and end up becoming partners with them. And I put my little bit in, but they pretty much had a really good set format. They wrote part of the rules for some of the commissions for that type of tournament.
No, you would be a great representative of that era, because just what all you did in Tough Man contest. So for you to be their spokesperson, I think that is right up your alley. You'll do a fantastic job, because first off, you got a great sense of humor to go along there with it. So it's kind of like going, you can poke fun at yourself the same way as you can have fun with other people, and that's a great attribute to be able to have.
We've had a lot of major companies like Fight TV's covering some of our stuff, which is a really big organization, and a couple other the fight type stuff online. I've been getting a hold of us or wanting to do a reality type show with it. So hopefully things go good.
You just never know where this could actually lead to. Just like when people start seeing again, you got all kinds of charisma there, Butterbean. So who knows what you could be doing, and doing. So
I'm curious. Tell us about your son, Bean. How long has he been training?
He's been training for a long time. It's just, and he's had like fights lined up, and once they find out he's my son, they drop out last minute. And like you can ask Dan, fights fall through a lot. People have a hard time understanding that fights fall through. Promoting's not easy.
The hard part is, like Butterbean could have been training, for all this time, knowing that he's about to, and then all of a sudden his opponent drops off less than 24 hours before. It's like, and now as a promoter, you're scrambling to see who do I have in my database that is willing to take a match like this on such short notice. Yep. It really doesn't. I mean, you can promise all kinds of financial aspects of it, but if you're just a recently started type of promotion, you don't have those kind of assets to it. So it's a tough industry. It's a very ugly industry in a lot of different ways. Because especially if you start getting good, a lot of people don't want to fight you. I mean, right. I can't even imagine being that at the height of your game, anyone wanting to climb in that ring there with you, because they're like going, they probably will want more and more money to do things, and then it's like it's tough.
It's not feasible.
What's your payday? And and you want to pay him more because I'm about to knock his head off. I mean, it's like it doesn't make sense to you as well. It's like you've been undercutting your own price at times.
Well, Caleb's last fight, he'd injured his arm. We didn't know how bad it was. His arm was injured, and he fought on our show, and he destroyed the guy. I mean, he looked great. I think he knocked him out. I'm pretty sure it was the first round. Might have been the second, but I think it was the second round, one of the two. And come to find out, he had detached his bicep really bad. They even had to put cadaver parts in to repair it. So this is his first fight back since then.
Wow. How much time has he been off?
It's been almost a year.
Okay.
But one thing he did use, Dallas come up with these new power cuffs. And it's blood flow restriction, which what it does, it helps blood, it goes in, but it slows the blood from going out, which puts extra oxygenated blood there in your arms and legs. But it tricks your body into thinking that part's injured, and it pushes growth hormone in there because your body so produces it. It only releases it. Like if you get a cut, that's what helps heal that cut.
Yeah.
And it tricks your body into thinking that part of the body, your arms or legs, need the growth hormone put to it. And then when you release them, it goes throughout your whole body. So it's really beneficial. Huh. And I got them to him before they just now released them not long ago.
Okay. You get that through DDP's website?
Yeah. Yeah. Dallas has them. They're called Power Cuffs. They're blood flow restrictions have been around for a while, but you had to go to the doctor's office to do it. Now you can do it when you're working out. And like curling, let's say you can curl 45, 50, 60, 75 pounds. When you're using them, you'll drop down to 8 to 12 pounds. And you'll get just the workout, if not more.
Wow.
That's crazy.
It's insane.
Dallas seems to always be at the forefront of these type of things. I'm curious, Bean, did you know Dallas before you went to the crib?
I did know him, but I didn't know him that well. I mean, I knew him. Like I said, they've been trying to get me for 3 or 4 years prior to that to go do his program. But, you know, you only see these guys every once in a while, and it's like, you know, he ain't going to beg you to come. He'll offer to help. But until the reality, I was doing a podcast. It was me, Flex Wheeler, Boss Rutan, and Rick Bassman. We were doing a podcast called what did we call that? Well, I don't even remember what we called it.
No, again, that's funny that you put that because I remember Rick Bassman actually reaching out to me to be kind of do that little professional wrestling type of leg / MMA leg there to it as well at one point, but I just was too busy at the time. But that was a while back though. Yeah.
We had Dallas on the show, and Flex said, you know, he was talking about going to do the show, and Flex goes, you need Bean on it. You know, that's something because Bean needs help, and you need to have him on it. Now, I was at the point right then, I was willing to try anything. So that's how it all happened.
What's your relationship like now with Dallas after going through this? What type of guy is DDP?
Oh, he's great. He helps a lot of people. People don't realize the people he helps, and he don't charge nobody nothing. I mean, he's got his program that you can buy to use, but he helps so many people that he don't charge them. One of the guys come to me, and I took him to Dallas's people, and this guy was 475 pounds on oxygen, could not walk 10 foot. Now he's up going pretty good. And, I mean, he's lost almost 100 pounds in a short time just by helping guide him what to eat, showing him the workouts. Another good friend of mine got in a motorcycle wreck, Moonshiner Josh from the Moonshiner Show.
Oh, yeah.
He hit a wall. He hit a wall doing 100 mile an hour, and they told him it'd be 2 years for it to even be able to put weight on it. You know, within, I think, 4 months after he got out of the hospital, we had him walking. Wow. He's using a cane, but he's up moving. I mean, he's got like 20-something pins in his leg.
Is he doing all right now?
He's doing a lot better. They were going to cut his legs off. I mean, they're going to chop his leg off, but they talked him into keeping it. The doctor said, you probably won't ever be able to stand on it, but he's up walking now. So DDP helps a lot of folks.
That's awesome, man.
No, I really enjoyed, like I said, I really enjoyed the couple of videos that I've had a chance to watch. I always, you know, from all the words I ever heard that, you know, he's a good guy. And then after just seeing a couple of these videos that you could just see, it's tough love. And he's trying to inspire you because you have to want it first. You know, if you don't want it.
If you don't want it, he's not going to waste his time on helping you. He's got 1,000 other people wanting help.
Yeah. And I would think that though, like a fighter like yourself, you got that spirit to rise up because you do this match after match after match. When you walk out there, it's just you against your opponent, and you have to impose your will upon them. So, you know, it's in there. Sometimes it just has to. You got to find different ways to ignite it.
Yep.
I guess that's the way of putting it.
You know, guys, I got to let a little bit of the fan of me out. I remember watching this when I was younger, and I know it was both of your favorite event. Could we talk about the WWE Brawl for All?
Oh, this is awesome for me. Bart Gunn, was a bad day for Bart.
Yeah.
Well, so Dan, what was that? They didn't even tell you about it until last minute. Or they said that you couldn't.
No, I mean, my whole part was it when when I say they, the higher ups announced this concept, this idea, I forget what arena that we're located at. We're there for, it could have been a Monday night live Raw show. It could have been a Tuesday night taping. Not sure where we were at, but they called all of the wrestling talent into the cafeteria area. And so we're all in this cafeteria area. And I happened to be just standing next to one of the road agents. And they said, well, we got this concept, this brawl for all. And they started talking about it. But before they really got into the details, they said all the athletes will be partaking of, except for Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn. And as soon as they said that, I'm thinking, okay, I just asked the road agent, do I need to sit in there now to listen to the rest of this? And he's like, no. He says, you can go. I just left there because I think if it doesn't have nothing to do with me, why do I have to sit in here and listen to all this? But then, the whole concept of what they're doing. And then this goes on for several weeks. And again, I'm at whatever it was, a Monday night or Tuesday night. I'm basically in the locker room. I've got my duffel bag. I'm perched out, laid out, taking a little mini nap or something like that, because you just never know if you're going to be working that night or not. They have their agenda, meaning their monthly pay-per-views. These are weekly shows. Monday night will be a live show, and then the Tuesday night is a taping. And so it's like going, but you just don't know if you're going to get on. All these shows simply lead to a monthly pay-per-view. There's storylines that they're trying to get in on Bean. There's storylines they're trying to get on, and I knew that, Eric, because you're part of this upcoming pay-per-view. But if someone's promo goes too long, if someone's match goes too long, they got to cut it somewhere. It's like,
or if something goes too short.
Yes.
They change it.
I seen a chalkboard out there before, to where all of a sudden the eraser comes up, and you're about to go out there. It's like, oh, your match has been scratched now. It's like going, did that really bother me? Not at all, because I'm being paid the same no matter what. So it's like, well, okay, I got a night off, although I've been hanging around forever just to do whatever. But it is what it is. I just, that's the nature of that company. But this goes on for like I said, the Tough Man deal goes on, Brawl for All goes on for a few weeks. And then all of a sudden, one of the road agents says, Dan, he says, how would you like to be in the Tough Man tonight? And I'm again kind of surprised, because I think it's been going on and I haven't been a part of it. And and I simply just said, against who? How much? They gave me a name. They gave me a price tag. I said, I'll take it. I said, but I don't want to wear any gloves. Like, well, you can't go out there bare knuckle. I go, I'm going to go. I won't throw a single punch. I'll parry. And I said, but I'll show you what a real wrestler can do at that point, because I'm not going to ever win this game, as we started out the conversation. Right. Not going to win this game, but my opponent's got to be within that arm's reach. And I thought, and that's where basically all I kept doing was taking them down and clinching them, throwing them, taking them down, and that was about it. I don't think I throw a single punch in whole type of thing. And he's trying to take my head off. So, but it's like, I ended up winning the match. And as soon as I got back behind the curtain again, the same road agent comes up and goes, now you're out again. I'm thinking, what's this all about? I was
watching the documentary, it made it look like you left because
I know what they tried to make a look at. And to me, it's like going, what it boils down to is you have the higher ups in this company. They're sitting back having a few barley pops. They got some cigars going, and now they start boastfully talking. Oh, I'll bet this so-and-so can kick this guy's ass or can kick that guy's ass. And they're playing a game of chess with us, the pawns, the wrestlers. That's how I really viewed that all as, because I had no remorse towards the whole aspect. I got paid a good fee just to walk out there just for one match, 3 1-minute type of things. I didn't get hurt in the process. And that's the big thing. I didn't get hurt in the process. Walked away from it. It's like, okay, I picked up my payday on top of my payday.
Bean, when did you find out that you was going to be a part of this?
Well, originally the WrestleMania before I was supposed to be in, but Tyson got out of jail, so it bumped me out. And it was after Bart beat Dr. Death. They didn't expect him to win. Right. They even went to, my understanding, this is a story I was told, Vince went to Bart and told him he wanted him to lose the fight. And up to that point, it was real fights all the time. And Bart's idea was he was tired of wrestling. And his idea was to win it and become a professional fighter. So when they offered him me, he had almost a year at a professional trainer. And I think that was his biggest downfall is when he fought me, he tried to box. They had him trained, and he should have went out just swinging like he did before. Not that he would have won, but he would have looked a lot better. If he would have just went out like he did the other fights, swinging and throwing the big punches, he would have done a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay. That makes it sound a lot different than some of the things that I've heard. So he knew he was being offered a fight with you. It's not like they just sprung it on him.
Right. He knew you were out.
Well, that was stupid. He shouldn't have took that. But, I want to get back to this fight that's coming up. What is the name of the guy being that is fighting your son?
One man crew. He'd wrestled, he'd boxed, he'd done all kinds of stuff in life. So it'd be a good challenge for my son to fight somebody who's had some ring experience.
Yeah. Do you know much about the guy?
Well, originally, I mean, I've known him. I've known him for a long time. Matter of fact, I think I even wrestled him one time. But he wanted to fight me originally, and he's just not that caliber. He's not. First of all, nobody's gonna buy it if it means him fighting. But he beats my son, and I told him we'll talk about it.
Well, he's messaging.
So he's got something to gain by doing that.
He's saying he's going to beat your son's ass, then he's coming for you. He wants to know if he can come on here.
Well, good luck. Bring him on. Good luck with him. I'm beating my son, that's for sure.
Oh, man. Now, how many fights has he had? Do you know much about him?
I don't. I really don't. Caleb's just a tough kid. I'll put him in, if they're willing to fight him, 3 women around, we're actually doing tough man rules. So it's going to be a fast-paced action. Like, it's going to be a great fight to watch. And it's going to be live. We're going to also live stream it. So you can watch our whole show on live stream. I don't have the exact link right now, but yeah, it's all going to be live streamed.
How old is Caleb Bean?
He's in his 30s. He's a little old to get started, but he just loves it so much. I started in my late 20s.
We actually got him backstage, guys. I'm going to pull him in. One man crew. What's going on?
What's going on, man?
So tell us about this challenge to the son and the dad.
Yeah, I mean, I saw this video of Butterbean making a comeback, so I was like, you know what? I need a payday. I'm gonna try to see if I can get this guy to fight me. So I made a video challenging him. Now he wants to duck behind his son, but I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm not the only one. You're not the only one with retard strength, Butterbean. I can turn a tractor tire inside out with my bare hands.
Awesome.
So come March 9th, this Sunday,
Saturday.
We're going to find out who really deserves to fight you. I think your son could probably whip your ass.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You got a big challenge ahead of you. I'm telling you, it's tough. Yeah. Don't back out. That's all I'm saying. Just don't back out and run.
I'm not afraid of any man on this planet. I don't back down from anybody or anything, and that's why
that's great because he don't want to have to chase you.
He ain't gonna chase. Well, I might have to make him chase me in the ring because I'm not gonna make the same mistake all these other jabronis off the street made. They tried to go head on to him and they got knocked out. But I'm not like these other people just off the street. I'm smart. I know how to pierce through that peekaboo style.
Now,
awesome.
One man crew, how many fights have you had professionally now?
I haven't had any pro boxing fights, but I've done tough man before when I was younger, when I was 20 years old. And I lost a couple of decisions, which kind of discouraged me from it because I thought I had won those fights. Because I thought that I was clearly in control of those fights, but I didn't understand the politics of it. And I didn't understand that the people I were fighting were friends with the guys putting on the event. But this, I understand now what you have to do when you get in the ring. You got to make your own destiny. You got to knock the guy out. You got to basically forge your own path in this business. And that's what I'm about to do.
So did you grow up watching Butterbean fight?
Oh God, yes.
What makes you think that you can get in the ring with him? I'm just curious.
Well, I'm not that shabby myself as a fighter. I've never lost a fight in my adult life when it comes to fighting and, street fights and whatnot. But this is the way I look at it. And I know you, Dan, you know this, Butterbean. It only takes one lucky punch to knock somebody spark out. And it don't matter who it is. Anybody can whoop anybody's ass if they get in that one lucky punch. And I think I got a puncher's chance just as good as any other fighter on this earth.
What do you think about this being when he gets to meet your son this weekend?
Well, I'll be honest. I mean, I think it's great. I mean, both guys think they can win. Caleb thinks he can whip him, and he thinks he can whip Caleb, and that's what makes it great. After the fight, they're going to shake hands and be buddies. That's how it works. I mean, in my view, the whole fight's in the ring. It's not afterwards or, there's no hate in it. It's all a sport, and knocking other guys' heads off is the fun part about it.
There's one thing I'm confused about. I've heard Caleb, I've heard him go by many names. I've heard him go by Baby Bean. I've heard you guys call him Little Bean. I've heard you guys call him Butterbean Jr., but I'll tell you what you can really call him. You can call him somebody who's about to get his ass whipped come Sunday, March 9th.
Well, we'll find out. We'll find out.
What is the date on this again, guys? This upcoming Saturday?
It's this Saturday. I'm thinking it's the night. It's on Saturday night. And it'll be live streamed. I don't have the link yet, but I'll have the link before too long. We'll get it up.
Yeah, if we get that link so we can put it onto this, so that people that are intrigued by this fight that they know how to order it up so that they can view destiny here right now of the one-man crew versus Butterbean's son Caleb.
I am definitely looking forward to it. One-man crew. Any last words to Butterbean before we let you go?
I just want to let you know, Butterbean, that it ain't personal. I got a lot of respect for you. I got a lot of respect for your son. I'm just trying to make my own way in this world.
Same here, and I think less of it if you didn't have that attitude. I'll be honest with you.
Yep. All right,
that's what it's all about.
Yes, sir.
Yep. All right, guys, leave it all in the ring. Appreciate you coming on, One Man Crew.
Appreciate you guys. Thank you, Dan.
Yep. Take care.
Bean, what do you think about this? It sounds like he's just a guy trying to make his career, and
you gotta give him respect for that. I'm telling you. I mean, that's what's great about this sport. Anybody can step up and do something in life, and I'm glad he's coming in, giving everything he's got. I'm sure he's got his hands full with Caleb. I'm telling you right now, Caleb's tough as nails.
Well, again, that's because he's Caleb is part of your lineage, so it's kind of like going automatically as your son is coming up and through. People are expecting more because they're like, look at what Pops did.
Exactly. So without a doubt. I mean, when he challenged me, and I didn't want Caleb, but one thing I told him, I go, I'm not making easy fights for you. When I found out that he wanted to fight me, I'm thinking he's a tough guy. I mean, I know of his past stuff, so. Yeah, I mean, it'd be a really good fight. It'll be a good competitive fight.
Good. Well, again, as soon as we can get any kind of information on that, we definitely want to post that up there right on this interview and get this interview posted ASAP, just so that we can get as many eyes watching this fight that we
appreciate it.
So to see the destiny of your son Caleb. So.
I know it's in Pickens, South Carolina, so I'm planning on seeing you there, Bean. That's right down the road from my aunt. I've been needing to see her anyway. So
my buddy Josh, the Moonshiner Josh, will be there hanging out with us too. He wants to watch Caleb fight, so it's gonna be a great night.
That's awesome, man. I know Josh. I'm looking forward to seeing him. I'm here, glad to know that he's doing well. Being outside of this fight and this last challenge, what else do you got coming up?
Man, I'm all over the place. I mean, it's just I stay busy. Enjoying life with the grandkids, and been training, getting back in shape. I'm at 280. I've never been under 300 pounds as a fight, nowhere near. So I'm at 280 right now. So I'm moving around really good.
We have a new, improved, revitalized Butterbean there right now. That's what you have to look at there. It's like the future holds whatever you want to Aim your sights on there. That's what it should be said right there. It's like going, who knows? You might be the next movie star. Watch out, Rock. Move aside. Here comes the beat.
Exactly. You know, one thing I did, I turned down the movie when they done Roadhouse. You know, they wanted me. I was one of the bad guys, and they had the script wrote for me and everything. But I turned that down and able to get healthy. You know, and do the thing with Dallas. So that right there, I'll show you the motivation I had to get healthy again.
Yeah. No, gotcha. It's like I said earlier. You've given yourself a whole new lease on life, and you'll be additional years, quality years on top of that.
Oh, without a doubt.
So,
well, Butterbean, if anybody wanted to reach out to you or wanted to see what you're doing and how to keep up with you, where would they go to?
Well, I got a Facebook, and I also got an Instagram and a Twitter. I just opened the Twitter account not long ago, and I got a TikTok that I put a lot of videos on. My TikTok's Butterbean King of 4. And I do have a blue check on there, so you can tell that's actually me.
Gotcha. Okay. All right, guys, go and check that out. We'll get the link to the fight later on as soon as we
and Caleb's last fight's on my TikTok.
I want to get him on here one day as well. I'd like to interview him.
That'd be awesome.
Nice.
All right, man.
Well, again, I think this kind of brings things to a close. Bean, always a pleasure to chat with you.
Appreciate it, guys.
I'm sure our paths will cross once again somewhere down the road there. Maybe for another platter of brownies, huh? I'm going to have to pull that picture out sometime. Eric's over there wondering about it. I'll talk to him about it later. Bean, you take care.
Hey, thanks, guys. Appreciate it.